King Unk back with a brand new vibe. Season 2 premieres, get ready to dive. From coast to coast, we're spreading the love. Talents from everywhere, coming to prove. Storytellers, singers, dancers, and more. Each one's journey unique, like a story we adore. We'll show you what they've got right here, right now. Stay tuned, keep supporting, let's make this show. What's poppin', peeps? Welcome to season 2. King Un's got talent from all over the globe, sharing their dreams, sharing their skills. Stay tuned, keep it blitz, that's the kills. From Canada to the world, we're taking flight. Talents rising up, making it just right. Their stories unfold, their skills on display. Stay tuned, keep it up, it's gonna be a great day. Through laughter, through tears, through every trial.
What is going on, peeps? Welcome to another edition of Talent from the Six. I am your host, the urban franchise King Unk, and today I'm joined by a talent from the Six that's an actor, Dwayne Peterkin. Thank you so much for joining us, Dwayne. How you doing today, bro?
I'm doing good, and yourself, man?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. So, we're going to be talking about a few of your projects, your journey in the game. First thing I got to say to you, I watched that Police Brutality 3 that you starred in, bro. Your acting was freaking epic in that. Like, honestly, it was just like, you're totally the star in that. It was just like, watching you in that, you were so damn good.
Thank you, man. I'm glad you really loved the film.
Now, there's a part 1 and part 2?
Yeah, there's a part 1 and 2. Like, the first one came out in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
The second one came in 2019. And recently this year, this was the third one, which basically finishes up the trilogy.
Okay, right on. Are they all on YouTube or are they posted anywhere else?
Yeah, they're all on YouTube.
Okay, right on. Like, what's the origin of that project? Is it a project you wrote?
Yeah, it's a project that I wrote, directed, and acted in. Like, the whole premise of the film was there was no heroes and villains in the film. It's basically from people's perception. Because some people view the cops as villains, and some other people view the people that are in the police situation as villains themselves. But the whole point, it's like, it's attacking police brutality as a whole and the people around it and how they deal with the situation. Like, the first film is basically just two people chilling in the car waiting for somebody, and the first cop comes in and Damien reacts in a certain way, and then the second cops come in, and now it's between two people, so it's like one mean person versus another mean person, but the difference is they have a badge. Yeah. And it escalates from a parking ticket to attempted murder, and because of that, it leads to Damien being wanted. In the second one, he goes into hiding, and he nearly gets arrested because there was a robber that tries to rob him, but then he fights off the robber, and the cops come in and they recognize him and they try to stop him, but now Damon has to use force, and then he hides out for a couple of years in Cuba, and then comes back to basically try to get rid of his record so he can live a peaceful life, because he was convicted of a crime he didn't commit because the cops killed someone and framed him for it in the first film.
That is really good. Oh, wow. Like, what was your inspirations for that?
Well, my inspirations for it was, at first, it was just going to be a regular type of parking ticket film that I was going to do with someone that I knew. But then as the idea evolved, it became more of something I wanted to attack, like police brutality, because at the time in 2017, there was a lot of things going on in Canada and America. So I said, you know what, let me touch on that. And I decided to write the film and basically get people together and basically do the project, and at least have the messages there where it shows the cop side and the person's side all together.
I like how you put the two different perspectives. Like, not a lot of people do that, but like, you get to see it from both sides of it. That's really good. Quite innovative.
Yeah, I tried to do that because I didn't want to be like, oh, just show one side and that's it. I wanted to show from both perspectives, where some people will view Damon's like, oh, Damon's doing too much, or some others will be like, man, the cops are really mean and doing too much to him. Like, why are they like this? So it just shows between the two. Like, when people watch it, they'd be like, who could be the bad guy, who could be the good guy. It's up to their perception instead of just me telling you, it's like, oh, they're the bad guys and you're supposed to go to them. But it's really up to them, to people to decide, like, which one do you view as the bad or the good.
Right on, right on. Now, how did you do your casting? Was it mostly like friends or just people you casted through the industry?
I casted from the industry, so I basically had from Casting Workbook, All Casting, eBoss Canada, and Facebook, of course, to cast the people. And basically, when I cast the people within like 2 weeks, I have the location set to where we basically filmed the film.
Mhm.
And within a few weeks after shooting the film, editing it with my camera operator who does the editing alongside with me, and the sound recordist, we basically put the film out actually quickly as possible, so we don't try to wait too long.
Okay, right on, right on. What would you say your budget was for each one?
For each one, I know the first one was $500. The second one was almost 1,000, and the third one was around 1,000.
Okay, right on, right on. Now it's like, did you always aspire to create your own films, or you start off as an actor, or was it just both?
Both, because when I first became an actor in 2015,
Mhm.
I was acting more, like as an actor, learning the steps of how acting is. Because I started off on Vine in 2013, but I took it more serious in 2015.
Yeah.
And what got me more into filmmaking, like creating my own content, was that one, I was already kind of doing that already through like YouTube, but also to do short films and everything was from the fact that one, it's to help people, because there's some people that say they don't get enough opportunities. They'd be like, oh, the people are casting the same people. And I was like, someone needs to do something to change that. And I decided to be one of the people to change that. And the other thing was just to tell stories around the world and tell the stories that are normally not told.
I have a lot of respect for that, bro. Like, honestly, like with my casting calls over the years, I've kind of done the same thing where it's like a lot of people tell me it's like usually just the same group of people being casted, and then it's usually always the same thing. I kind of like, not a lot of minorities get a lot of opportunities in the Canadian acting scene, so I kind of try to prioritize casting minorities in a lot of my stuff. I mad respect to you, bro, because not enough people are doing that. Everyone's just trying to get their own opportunities. You're trying to build yourself up and help other people. That's like not enough of that is happening in the game today.
Yeah, like legit, there needs to be more people like that, because I like that you do that yourself too, where you help people and also help yourself as well. But like more people, yeah, like I would say the same thing. More people need to do that instead of just having the same people in there and just showing the same faces, because like Hollywood, they always show different people from time to time, but also other people need to do that as well. Show different people, because every film I would cast,
Yeah.
I would always try to put different people than the same people, because if you put the same people, then it gets boring after a while.
Yeah, exactly. Mix it up, get different acting styles, put different faces out there.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what got you started? Like, what sparked that love for film? Like, what made you want to be an actor in the first place?
What made me want to be an actor was, it started off in 2013 when I was just chilling on my couch. My brother basically came in with a camera filming, because he was doing a video of his on Vine. He's like, I hate when people in the house are being loud. And normally I would tell him to like get out of here, because younger siblings and all that. But it just sparked an idea to make one video, and then I made my first one, which was about people who bragged about money. And then I made a second one, and then 2 became 4, and then 8. And then what continued it was that I had a few people doubt me in the beginning, where one person's like, man, you never gonna be on Best Buys. You ain't gonna get there. I'm like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, man, you ain't gonna do all that. And then next thing you know, I end up on Hip Hop Vines in 2014. And then next thing he said was like, oh, I bet you won't get paid for it. And I was like, oh, really? Okay, I'll show that with that. And then over time, I just got more love for it, because I did some acting before when I was a kid, like video wise, but that didn't stick to me too much. But the creation process for like making videos just kept me going, because it's like I get to tell stories different from like from all around the world, where I can tell one part to another to another to another, and it just stuck to me, and I just love the creation and creating things and everything. So what really got me into it was the creation, the fun of it, and also just exploring different topics.
Yeah, that's totally what it is. You know, I love the creative process. Like for me, it's just like it's fun. This is what I love to do. Like I never expected to get fame from what I do. I just started doing videos for fun because I went back to school 10 years ago. People just happened to like them. But it's just like when you have that passion for it, it shows in your art. Like I don't want to put down any of the people that were in your project, but I could tell it's like some of them seemed like they weren't the most experienced, but then like just how good you were, and like it's I could tell you wrote it because it's like you felt that character, and it's like I believed your character when watching it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I always try to go all out in every project. Like I go 110%. And for other people, I try to tell them as well. It's like, hey, go all out because you don't know who's watching. And if they don't want to go all out, it's like, okay, that's fine. But I'm gonna make sure that I put enough effort for everybody to at least try. Because the main thing is try and have the fun and passion. Because that's the main thing. And because some people they always think about, oh, I want to be rich or whatever, or have all the lights and everything. But it's like it's not always just about that. It's all about making a story that will compel people, that will inspire people, and like give you an insight of okay, you could relate to this story or you could relate to that one, and that's good that you also do that too, because more more people need to make like stories that are relatable to everybody around, and that's the best thing about that.
See, like the thing what I love about your story is like Hollywood is a lot of recycled stuff. We're seeing the same stuff over and over again. You're seeing that come onto YouTube now because now a lot of people are just trying to mimic Hollywood on there. There's not enough original stories. So like anytime you see something original, it's like that's what always catches my eye. Now outside of the police brutality series, do you have any other projects that you've put up?
Yes, I did another film earlier this year, Tales of the Unexpected, which is about toxic relationships where a guy's trying to leave a relationship and it goes left to where the woman doesn't want him to leave, and the woman ends up almost killing him, but she tries to cover up the murder before the cops try to find like who did it. But when the guy basically tries to stop her, the girl ends up ending her own life because she doesn't want to go to jail, and then the cops blame the guy for that. And then I have another film, Me and the Devil, where a guy has to think about signing a contract or not, and he's conflicted because he needs money to pay off some debts. And the loan shark saying, if you sign this, I own your soul. I ain't gonna go too much detail on that one because I know that one's already out.
Mhm.
And then another film I did last year was Dirty 30, where it was about a guy turning 30 years old and he wasn't feeling confident because he felt that his life was over. But his friends were here to cheer him up, say, no, your life's never over. We can celebrate, have a party, and they do that, but there's someone trying to stop them from having the party, which is a guy from like downstairs, a guy, Alan's character, where he tries to stop them from having fun and celebrating, and even call the cops on them for basically because the music's not too loud for them, but the guy thinks, oh, their music's too loud because he's the opposite of fun. So he tries to end it off where they get arrested and he feels happy about it. And the other film I did was Undercover, where it was two people trying to save the world from ruin. Basically, Undercover. That's another film I did.
All sound really good, actually. They all sound good. You wrote all of them, or?
Yeah, those ones I wrote. And then the ones outside of it, I did one that's going to be coming out next year that was done by other people.
Mhm.
That one's going to be called OG Fat Bastards. It's between two people playing basketball. So it's like young people versus older people.
Okay. Battle of the generations. I dig it. I dig it. Of everything you talked about being in the top vines, what has been your biggest accomplishment so far?
So far, my biggest accomplishments was this year being at a film premiere for the first time where I had my voice featured in a film and being interviewed for it, and like just being in the film festivals where they're showing off the talents that I'm in. That one's a big one. Another one was being on Goldcast a few years back and being on TV a couple years back for Bizarre Murders. It's a TV show. Past Redemption in 2022. And last year being in an NBA commercial for NBA Infinite, which I was very happy to take part in.
Now, out of all the projects you've done, what would you say was the most financial benefit?
Financial benefit. The most financial benefit would have to be Actually, Bizarre Murders, because that one, when I did that project, they paid a handsome, where they paid a lot for that one.
Yeah.
And also, the character that I played was in a crime kind of show, where basically a guy he's in a relationship with a girl, and there's another person wanting to be in that, and he's trying to move away from that, and the girl ends up killing my girlfriend, and the guy basically he try to you know get himself out of it, to where, because the cops think he did it, but then they found out who the real one was. But the most financial one, I'd say Bizarre Murders, because that one was financially, it was a lot.
Now, what is your priority in taking on roles? Is it the financial benefit or how good your character or the story is?
Well, usually I take on a project by how good the story is. Like, I usually, before I take on any project, I would read the synopsis and read the character description. And if it's something good to where it's relatable and it has a good premise to the story, then I'll go on for it, because, it's easy for people to say they'll do it for the money, but, money isn't everything. And sometimes a role could be so bad to where it can end up, ruining your whole thing. But I always look into the story and synopsis before I go into a project, so it doesn't matter if it costs us $1 million. If the project is something demeaning, then I'm not doing it.
I 100% agree with that. I signed with a production company like 3-4 years ago, and like first they wanted to do my ideas. Then the one idea they came up for me was like they wanted me to wear a dress, and I was like, okay, I'm out. I'm just done. And like I was like a week before that, I told them I don't like the fact that they keep making straight men do the whole straight black men always wear dresses. Then their first pitch to me was that. Then their second pitch was to do a dating show where they had a bunch of racist white women, and I would have had to win them over.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
I just like instantly from that point, I was like, I'm not working for people. That's why I mainly do my own stuff on YouTube. But it's just like, it's a matter of like money is not worth it, as far as I'm concerned.
Right, like it's like all about integrity, and
Yeah.
some people, they sell themselves for doing a project because they feel like, oh, but millions of people are going to see it. But I'm like, but what's the point of that if your soul is gone? You have no integrity, because once they get a hold of that, then that's it. And I always try to avoid films where they try to put black men in dresses because it emasculates them, and then they try to say, "Oh, but you're being homophobic." I'm like, no, you should see in history where Hollywood always tries to emasculate black men by putting them in dresses or being racist to them,
Yeah.
by like, oh, they could put them as slave roles, or putting them in makeup or dresses or whatever. Like, those ones I usually avoid. Like I have avoided a few roles where they'd be like, "Oh, we want you to play this gay character because we want to emasculate you," and I'm like, "No, I'm not going to do that." Or play a character that's in a dress, or discriminate black people. Like, once those things come to picture, and I respect you for doing that, I wouldn't do that either. Like, they try to ruin a black person by just breaking them, and then they'd be like, "Oh, but then it can go up higher." It's like, no, I'm not. I wouldn't allow Hollywood to do something like that.
No, I respect that fully. It's just like the way I look at it is there's so much talented homosexual actors out there. Why do you need a straight guy to play that role? Why can't you just give it to one of them?
Right, like they should just give it to someone who's more comfortable in that field than putting someone who's straight and trying to emasculate them like that, because like it just makes them look bad, and when they play something like that, it just it's just very it's very discriminating, and very just backbreaking, like Sambo like kind of things.
No, completely. Now let's go to something more positive. What would you say is your top 5 bucket list in the industry?
Top 5 bucket list. One of my top 5 for my bucket list is, for one, I would like to one day make a project where it goes around the world of a story that would change people's perception. That's one of them, like where it hits worldwide for everybody. Another one is to work with Eddie Murphy, of course.
Right on.
3 would be to, well, I already went to LA beforehand, but it would be to at least be a part of a TV series, but that's not only a great show, but also something where years from now people could appreciate it. Same thing with a movie that's like the fourth one.
Mhm.
So like, you know, like a Martin or Abbott Elementary, or even a rock show with Charles S. Dutton.
Yep.
But for a movie, I'd, you know, like to take part in something like a Malcolm X, or South Central, or Boys in the Hood, or even you know, Malcolm X or Ali, something that would not only be a great picture, but it also tells a great story where it could be many years from now when you're long gone, and people could appreciate the message that goes on in the film. And lastly, you know, I would say the last thing, it would be, well, I already said Eddie Murphy beforehand, but I'll say like to work with other Black creators, like, well, of course, John Singleton is gone, but I would have loved to work with him, or what's this one name? The one who did Sinners. That one I would love to work with, because I can tell he writes very compelling stories, like very, very compelling stories, and even somewhat Spike Lee, but you know, his work over the years has deteriorated a bit.
This is true. Now I got a question for you, which is
What?
it's a question I ask everyone in every interview that I do, especially if they're from Toronto. You may have heard this before on other shows. Where is the best place in Toronto to get a Jamaican beef patty?
That's a very, very crazy question, because I don't eat Jamaican patties. That's
No.
no, like I'm more of someone as a Canadian Jamaican. I eat oxtail rice and peas, jerk chicken, kingfish,
Okay.
even dumpling at some points. But Jamaican patties, no, that's not something that I eat.
Where would be the best jerk spot?
Jerk spot. Oh man, there's so many. I know there was one. I'm trying to think of one. There was one. I can't remember the name of it because I went there a long time ago.
Yeah.
But there was one near downtown somewhere.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's still there, but they had a lot of Jamaican food. Dang it, I can't remember the name of it though. Fortunately, I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
Shoot.
You remember where
You
downtown
have
it
to
was?
tell me that one because I can't remember the name of it.
Do you remember where it was downtown?
It was somewhere near Dundas Street.
Yeah.
It was nearby. I just can't remember the name of it right now, but it was a Jamaican restaurant. I went there a long time ago though.
It wasn't
like
Rasta
right around-
pasta, was it?
Huh?
Was it Rasta pasta?
I think so. I think it was that one.
Yeah.
I remember going there around 2011.
Yeah.
But it was years ago though. It's been a long time since I went to to the one there downtown. I can't remember the name of it.
Okay, right on, right on. What would you say is your favorite restaurant in Toronto?
Favorite restaurant? I'd say right now one of my favorites. Wingstop is one of them because I know they opened that one, and I had that one some time ago. Papayas is another. Another one. There was this really nice restaurant that I went to one time that I liked. It was in Scarborough, right near Scarborough Bluffs. That one was a really good one as well. But besides that, I would say Wingstop and Papayas. I can't think of any other one, but there's those two and the one near Scarborough Bluffs.
Wingstop, the first time I had Wingstop, I did the Hot Ones True for Dab game. So I didn't really truly enjoy the wings because I had like the last dab hot sauce on it, right?
Yeah.
So it was just like, it just kind of killed the experience. What do you recommend at Wingspot?
Well, I would say get the chicken wings that they offer there. The chicken wings is really good. The fries, of course, you can get that as well. Make sure that when you get it, they make sure to cook it extra right. Like they make it very, very crispy. And those are the ones I usually recommend because they make crispy chicken wings where when you take one bite, you'd be asking for more.
Okay. Now, you mentioned earlier that you'd like Eddie Murphy, someone you definitely would want to work with. And you mentioned that you would want to be like part of projects that would be iconic, shares great moments in history or great stories. Is there any like one particular type of role? Like the last person I interviewed really wanted to be in like a Marvel project. Is there like any one character that stands out to you?
A character that stands out. I would say one of the characters that stand out, well, when you get back to the Eddie Murphy thing, why I want to work with him, he has so many iconic roles like Axel Foley or Akeem from Coming to America, or even Sherman Klump from Nutty Professor, or even Dolomite that he did in 2019.
Yeah.
But one character I would always like to tap into one day would be an Axel Foley type character. Because I know I played somewhat something like that in Police Brutality 3, but it was more of something more like serious. But if it was more, you know, it had a bit of comedy in there, I would like to touch on something like that one day.
Okay.
Another one that is iconic, I would really like to touch on a mafia film.
Okay.
Something, yeah, like something similar to Goodfellas or a Casino, because it tells the history of, you know, mafia, but also, you know, like seeing the atmosphere of how a mafia film would be done if I was on set on one. Like, it would be something that I'd love to, you know, like get onto and see how that experience would be.
Yeah.
And of course, there's not too many black mob type of things like, you know, black mobsters out there. That was in Italian parts, but it would be something that I'd love to touch on one day. That would, as long as the story's good and it has a great impact on it, it would be something I'd like to touch on. And another one would be a film where that'd be iconic, would be a film that touches on I would say a film that touches more on a political standard, like a Martin Luther King or a Malcolm X or even Huey Newton, like something that would be political, but it's told in the right way.
Okay. Now, to the mafia thing, have you ever watched Tulsa Kings?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
So it's kind of like Mafia-ish, but it's like Stallone's like right-hand guy from the start as a black dude. So it's like it kind of touches on that, and it's like he gets out of jail after 20 years. He's supposed to get a piece of New York. They don't give it to him. They send Stallone down to Tulsa. So he more or less gets a cab, and then it's this black dude, hires him, a black dude named Tyson, hires him as his driver, and he kind of just starts taking over Tulsa, and he has that guy as like his right-hand man.
Wow, that sounds very interesting. Is it on Netflix or Amazon or Paramount?
It's on Paramount right now, I believe.
Paramount.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I'm gonna check that show out because that sounds interesting. House of Kings.
Tulsa Kings. Tulsa Kings.
Oh, Tulsa Kings. Okay.
It is one of my favorite shows. Actually, during the 3rd season, the 5th episode comes out today.
Today, okay, so I gotta watch it after this interview.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Now, like, do you have anything coming up that you want to tell everyone about?
Of course, I told about the OG Fat Bastards ones. That one is coming out soon. And another project that should be coming out soon, that should be coming out everywhere, is a film that's going to be coming out in 2026 called The Landlord. It's basically a film where a person's trying to get their eviction notice voided because they signed something under false precedence, and he ends up getting kidnapped by a landlord.
Oh,
and
wow. I said, wow.
Yeah, so the landlord kidnaps them and he tries to kill him because there's other people that try to get their thing fixed because the person bought the building and he ends up trying to get rid of everybody or even tricking people into signing something due to, as he would say, aluminum wiring or whatever. Yeah. But some people could see right through it, or the ones that got tricked are trying to fix it. And he ends up getting kidnapped by the lawyer, and the lawyer's like, well, since I can't stop you one way, I'll kill you. And in that film, as the guy's almost about to get killed, he basically beats up the landlord, and then the cops come in to arrest him. And as the cops are taking him to jail, the landlord actually just loses his mind and starts acting like a cannibal, trying to attack the police officer, and the guy has to now stop him, or he ends up trying to kill him and the cop.
Wow, that sounds crazy. That sounds good and crazy. Damn.
Yeah, that one's good. It's gonna be filming sometime like early 2026, and it's gonna be coming out in like before the summer of 2026.
Okay, I'll definitely have to look out for that. Now we're gonna wrap this up here, my friend. Where can everyone follow you on social media? Where can they watch your content?
Oh, they can watch me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and even Clapper. That's another app. My YouTube channel is Dwayne J. Peterkin. Instagram, same thing, Dwayne J. Peterkin. My Facebook is Dwayne Peterkin. And my Clapper and TikToks are Dwayne J. Peterkin.
Okay, right on. Anything you want to say to the peeps?
To the peeps, I'd say always make sure you have integrity when you have a role in acting. Don't just do it just for the money, but do it also because you believe in the project and that the project is telling a story that is inspiring to other people. Don't just hop on it because, oh, this is gonna have millions of people watching, because once something is online, it's forever. So make sure that you go into a project that is great. And also, if you're on set, don't be that person to be filming people and on set and everything, because good actors wait until a movie comes out. Bad actors film everything, because you don't want to be caught up on the street in a year from now and people asking when the film's going to come out, and you end up sweating like you have bullets coming out. You want to wait till the project comes out and then put everything else out. Like, if you want to take pictures and stuff, go ahead, but don't put everything out while you're on set. Pay attention to what's going on, wait until the film is out, and then say something.
That makes so much sense. I've never actually thought of that, but yo, that makes total sense.
Yeah, because so many people, when they're on set, they usually be filming themselves saying, hey, look, we're on set, or hey, look, this is the movie we're making, or blah, blah, blah. And then the thing is, after that, the film doesn't come out, and then people ask them 3-6 months from now, it's like, hey, what's the update on the project? It's like, huh? And they're like, Honda? Huh? I don't drive a Hyundai. I drive a Hyundai. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
When is the film coming out? And then they can't explain it, and then they look like they have egg on their face. But the thing is, they have to, be a part of the film. If you take pictures of everything, you keep it saved, and you wait until the film comes out, because the more important thing is the footage. If you go out there and film and take pictures and put it out right away, and then people ask you a couple months from now if the project's going to come out, then you can't provide people the content, people will start doubting you.
Yeah, that is so true. That is so true.
Yeah.
Well,
So
Dwayne,
that's one thing I want to tell the peeps out there.
right on. Well, Dwayne, thank you so much for joining us. Awesome interview. You're amazing talent. I'm sure you're going to be big in the industry. I'd love to work with you again in the future. If I have anything that I'm doing, you're probably going to be one of the first people I email with the script when I drop it. You ever thinking about food reviews?
Food reviews?
Yeah.
I haven't really thought of food reviews. No.
Would you want to be a guest? I have a series called Fat Kid Tuesdays. I have people tell me about cool spots, and we just more or less go do a mukbang and review the food.
Sounds interesting. I always have to see more on the idea of what the whole concept of the whole thing is, but yeah, that could be something I could look into.
Right on. I'll have you as a guest on the next season. We got season 6 about to drop, so let you know when we start shooting that. Now, I end all my interviews with a line, and I try to get my guests to join me in on saying it. You down?
Oh yeah, go. Yeah, sure.
So I'm going to say, stay good, peeps, and then we're both going to say at the same time, and keep it blitz.
Okay, keep it blitz. Okay.
All right. So stay good, peeps, and keep it
Keep it
blitz.